it'll start all over, and we'll have like a feature of the
All right.
Okay, he's heard me say this before. This is one of the favorite parts of the evening when you have to brag on somebody in public, and they'll be doing like this. So, I've only known you about a year, right? Isn't it something? Okay. He started coming here and like blowing everybody away. Just wow, what's this guy doing here? Let me just tell you. So, when poets get up here and they have a chance to really spend the time to let you get to know them through their work, it's always very fascinating to me to see what they say, how they do it, how they put things together. Now, Tommy has a voice. It's a really great voice. I can say New York, right? You have a New York...
Philadelphia.
Sorry. Oh, my God.
We all want him to be from New York.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Philly. Great. He has...
Avalon.
Huh?
Fabian.
Okay, just let me...
Well, I'm talking Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. He knows.
Okay, he knows from the difference.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Frankie Avalon.
So, a good voice, a deep urban milieu. Okay? And he brings up history, society, social change, where he's come from, how he was made, not made, but like how he developed as a person and how he got to his voice. Everything that he brings out has that as a theme and really introduces you to him. There's a lot of depth in here, a lot of depth, a lot of connections, a lot of reality. Sometimes it's not comfortable. But that's okay. That's okay. He's passionate about what he wants to say. He's singer-songwriter, has the show going on, poet, philosopher. I'm going to say that. Activist. There you go. And we're going to hear some of that tonight. So we have a wide-ranging set of things which he can choose from. And he's going to choose from things this evening to let you know who he is, where he comes from, and why. And it'll inform us. Well, Tommy, have a call him back and give him a round of applause as he comes up here. Probably worked for a million years over here. All right. See, I had New York in my brain for some reason.
Yeah, everybody does.
All right.
No.
Papa, who worked with your brother 50 years at that Sunoco station in South Philly, holding court to a group of retired men who called you T-Nax. Papa, who gave me change to buy comic books from the old man at the corner newsstand who called me Tony, which was your name. Papa, who gave me my first job wiping windshields I could barely reach on my tippy toes. Sometimes you held me up, or I stood on a wooden box to reach the glass. Papa, who decided I was going to be a priest, bragging to all your friends when I became an altar boy. Prouder still when your brother nicknamed me the Little Father. Papa, who won me a pink elephant at the Steel Pier in Atlantic City. You called him Lucky. I hugged him all the way home, afraid he would disappear. Papa, who was never lucky at anything, especially politics, wanting to be more than a neighborhood committeeman, but knocked down every time you tried. Papa, who watched helplessly as I divorced your world, going to anti-war rallies, growing my hair, listening to rock music, even tasting a boy's lips on mine. I became the enemy you ranted about every night, sitting at the dinner table watching the news. Papa, who cursed me when I came out at Temple University, my picture on the front page of the student paper, my face on your TV, your worst nightmare. Papa, who asked me to change my name so I wouldn't embarrass La Mia Familia. Papa, who threw me out of the house when I was 19. Papa, who screamed, "You're not my son!" Papa, who cried when I yelled back, "I don't want to be your son!" Papa, you're gone now, and all those angry words still haunt me. We never took them back. I got through that one. Something a little lighter. Sister told us we were doomed. No way to escape. We'd all be dead within hours. Her eyes looked like 8 balls. Her shrieking voice rose and fell in crescendos. Sweat gathered in droplets on her forehead, above her lips, and along the sides of her face, where she had thin, light-colored hair, almost like sideburns. She kept crossing herself with wrinkled hands that clutched the long, brown-beaded rosary with the huge silver crucifix that hung at the side of her ankle-length dark blue habit. The thin figure of Jesus looked emaciated, like the pagan babies we fed with our dimes. Every September, a hurricane made its way up the east coast from Florida, striking a few cities along the way and petering out by the time it reached Philly. The storm's last hurrah before it drifted off to die in the Atlantic. That year, the hurricane didn't weaken. It kept right on raging, leaving a path of destruction in its wake, which convinced Sister, who seemed on the brink of a breakdown most days, that the end was near. She spent her nights on her knees in prayer, kneeling on a hard cement floor in her cold convent bedroom, listening for God's instructions. He told her the hurricane would wipe out all life in the city, level every building, punish us for being lowly sinners who displeased him every time we had an impure thought, or lied, or cheated, or ate meat on Friday. For days before the hurricane, Sister described in vivid detail the suffering we would endure in the final moments of our lives and in hell's unrelenting fires. On the morning of the hurricane, she had us kneel by our desks. Pray like you never prayed before. Pray for forgiveness. Pray that a merciful God takes pity on all you wicked children. By the time thick dark clouds rolled into the sky and the wind was rattling the windows, she was in an altered state. When the rain pounded the glass, she let out a primal scream. Mother Superior's voice suddenly blurted out of the PA system, informing us between intermittent bursts of static that school was canceled for the rest of the day and we were to file out quietly in an orderly fashion. Chaos erupted. Children took off noisily in all directions. Sister became completely untangled, falling into a sitting position in the corner of the room and muttering to herself in what seemed a language of her own. She was fingering the crucifix as if it were Braille, and looking up to the ceiling as if she were seeing the pearly gates opening. I fled from the room and out into the rain and wind, glad to be in a safer place. Some trees came down, some windows shattered, some sewers backed up into basements, some streets flooded, but the city was spared because of her prayers. That's what Sister said, standing in front of the class the next morning. Calm for the first time in weeks. I saw the disappointment in her eyes.
You have like 14 minutes.
Oh, great. Okay, good. Good. Then I'll do, yes. good. 14
Because
minutes.
you have a 20-minute set.
Yeah, I know.
That's
But
what- you want to keep aware of things, I understand.
yeah. I planned 5 things, but
All right. Huh?
So this is that day, you know, that capitalist day that they make lots of money off of chocolates and restaurants and stuff. So hate to be so cynical, but you know, love is a beautiful thing, but when capitalists exploit it, it's not beautiful.
Ow, ow.
Anyway, this is a song that's dedicated to the other side of love. I'll leave you in suspense. All the birds and the bees you see, they do it naturally, just the way it should be. Why the hell can't we? Why must we fall in love? Why can't we just be friends who get together when we feel that special yen? Why must we fall in love? You got to understand, there's nothing wrong with lust. It's strings that I don't trust. I've said it till I'm hoarse. Love comes with a divorce most of the time. Most of the time, we sizzle in the bed. Why fuck with such success? We don't need no romance to make our lives a mess. If you want love, my friend, best move on and then. If you should change your mind, come back, you know it's fine. I've said it till I'm hoarse. Love comes with a divorce most of the time. Most of the time. Back to the serious political stuff. That's what you all want, right?
Wow.
Or you want more of the friends with benefits? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know.
I don't blame you.
I
with you.
want an angry gay man.
You want an angry gay man? I don't know any.
Really?
And this poem might well be dedicated to Richard.
Oh my goodness.
You'll see why. America.
Oh, you're.
America. I learned all I needed to know about you in the 60s from the evening news on that small black and white TV in the living room. It taught me more than your schools ever did, more than your libraries, more than all of your politicians. It showed me separate drinking fountains and bathrooms, segregated lunch counters, lynchings, cops beating civil rights marchers, spraying them with hoses, chasing them with dogs. Vietnamese girl running down a dirt road, body on fire from the napalm the military dropped on her village. TV warned me that in this land of the free and home of the brave, I couldn't be a commie, a queer, a draft dodger, a union organizer, a beatnik, a hippie, a rock and roller. Still, I wanted to believe in you when the nuns made us stand and hold our hand over our hearts to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. They were just words, America. I've got my own now. I pledge resistance to the flag of the divided states of America and to the oligarchy for which it stands, one empire under all, with liberty and justice for some. I don't believe in you. I don't believe that you are what you say you are. I don't believe you were ever great. A nation founded on genocide and slavery, where only white landowners could vote, where immigrants were never welcome. How many bombs have you dropped? How much napalm? How much Agent Orange? How many deformities have you created? How many dead children left in mother's arms? How many torched houses? How much toxicity spilled into the soil of other nations, the air, the water? How many elections did you interfere in? What hypocrisy about the Russians? How many governments did you topple? How much blood do you have on your hands? Enough to fill an ocean. Oh, beautiful, for markets free, for land the rich now own. You're unrepentant, America. You don't see anything wrong with what you've done. Anything wrong in the millions of homeless, millions without health insurance, millions of people hungry every day, mass shootings every week, cops targeting black and brown people, trans women dying on your streets, dreamers denied what you promised them. I wish I could see a glimmer of hope, but the light at the end of the tunnel is a speeding train that has no conductor and no brakes.
Oh! And a ho, it's a 4-0.
Yeah, I mean every word of it.
I'm glad.
Anybody know who that's a quote from? Ah, Nina Simone. Yeah, I mean every word of it.
Oh, okay.
That was Mississippi Goddamn. Right, Mississippi Goddamn. So upset. Tennessee made me lose my rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi Goddamn. Yeah, amazing song.
Oh, good.
Let's hear it from Nina Simone.
Generation knows it. Good.
Nina Simone lives, yeah. So I'm going to do something a little lighter.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me in my whole life.
I keep saying lighter, don't I?
I know, but you know.
This is genuinely lighter, and you're all free to sing along with me, and feel free to laugh as much as you want, even though your first instinct might be to feel like you should be offended. Offended for me, but you don't need to be offended for me. I can fend for myself. I know it's a big build-up. Okay, so this also has an intro. I like writing songs with intros, like the old songs in the old days.
Yeah.
The great songwriters, intros, anyway. If I can remember how it goes. I got this drama. It's quite a big mess. It's got me worried, more or less. So I'm gonna have to confess. Don't have a wedding ring or a home in Palm Springs. Don't know the designers or live that life much finer. Don't like waving rainbow flags, and it's really just a drag. I guess I'm just the world's worst fag. I don't drink my latte or brunch on Saturday. No condo with a view or stylish do, it's true. According to the latest mag, and it's really just a drag. I guess I'm just the world's worst fag. I tried to change, going to Fag Anonymous meets, guppy retreats. I'm admitting and Ricky, don't make me swoon. Never been to a spa or a gym or a fashion show on a whim. Lady Gaga makes me gag, and it's really just a drag. I guess I'm just the world's worst fag. Shopping at the Goodwill, being way, way over the hill. No iPhone on my ear or eyes out around, I fear. PNP is not my bag when I'm ready for a shag. I guess I'm just the world's worst fag. I've tried to change, really, gone to Fag Anonymous meets, guppy retreats. I'm admitting defeat. When I die that final day and I'm at the pearly gate, Petey's gonna say to me, honey, don't you see? Hate to be a big old nag, but it's really just a drag. That you're just the world's worst fag. Now wait a minute. Something's wrong here, right? Right?
That's right.
Something's wrong, right?
Yes.
I guess I'm gonna brag that it's really not a drag. That I'm just the world's absolutely, positively best fag. You got it before I did.
Well, because I could tell.
I know.
Obviously.
It's very obvious, right?
Yeah,
It's
you
obvious. Yeah, anyway. It is true, and it's really painful. Honestly, it's really painful. I thought about going to therapy about it, because I mean, after all, how could I be a fag and not know designers? I mean, does anybody know any designers? Like, I don't know who they are.
Gucci. You're the best.
Gucci.
Yeah.
Things like that, I guess they're in the news.
I don't know all the latest singers or anything. I mean, I am still fixated on Billie Holiday.
The only one.
That's a good thing to be fixated on. I like Billie
Do
Holiday.
I actually have more time?
Yeah, you got about like 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I can finish
Nice
with-
finisher.
I'll give a.
Clean the palate.
I'll clean the palette. Finish with a really brand new recent poem. There's a rat-a-tat-tat to it. This woman's angry rant as she pulls her bag down the street. When she gets to the corner, she darts into the busy intersection, ignoring the red light. Cars swerving all around her. Her curse-filled sentences aimed at no one in particular, though she glares at the drivers as if she sees them. I know she doesn't. She exists in a different world, hears voices we can't possibly hear, lashes out at people from who knows when or who knows where. People fear her. They pretend not to notice her. If she sits on their steps, they call the cops. They say she's out of her mind. They demand that she be hospitalized or jailed, put somewhere out of sight, so they can go on with their ticky-tacky lives and never be reminded that not everyone prefers the reality they've created. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we're calling Mecca. Great. Singer-songwriter, performer, activist, Rolling Bone, raconteur. All right, so we're going to put this thing on pause so you may talk as you might